I got to go over something here, something that I did not ever expect to purchase, certainly never thought I would need, but as I've accumulated lenses, and a lot of them being prime lenses like the 24mm, like the 50mm, and the Sigma 18 to 35mm, even though it's not a prime lens, none of those have image stabilization. So what I found that was in my videos, even though the camera has very weak, the T7i that I'm using right now, has a very weak built-in image stabilization, if you even want to call it that. It's pretty ineffective with these lenses. So after watching a lot of my video and stuff, and seeing other videos and how smooth they were, I decided that I needed to branch out and get one of these stabilizers. Basically, you've probably seen a lot of reviews for them if you watch much channel stuff. It's just your basic stabilizer. So I went with the Zhiyun, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Zhiyun Crane, after it dropped in price drastically, because I think the Crane 2 and a couple other ones came out. I'm not very familiar with a lot of these stabilizers, these gimbals, but so I went with this guy here, and I just want to talk about it a little bit because I have already released a video. I've taken it out with the prime lenses, basically a 24mm, but I have used other ones, but I thought the 24 looked the best for what I had in stabilizing it, which I'll go over. So the Zhiyun Crane is what this is called. I think it's currently all the way down to like $349 or $369. I got this at Best Buy. You can get it on Amazon. I'll link it below. But I believe when these initially came out, they were around $500 or $600 a year or two ago. So the price drop definitely helped me with the decision to get this. So yeah, I've already had it out, and I want to say initially when I got this thing, and I've only had it for about a week, I wanted to use it for a little bit before I did this quick review of it. It was very difficult to set up initially. Here's what comes in it comes in this nice briefcase type, well padded. It comes with a couple batteries. Here, let's just pull the thing out. Okay, so it comes with all these little things. This is your basic unit here, and it comes all assembled. The only thing you really have to assemble here is the put the batteries in here. Very simple. The positive up. Positives up, screw it on. I mean, this is just a very simple device to put together. I wish it was this simple to actually use, but it gets a little tricky. I'll get into that here in a minute. So yeah, it comes on here, that goes together, and then basically, oh, that's wrong. Now see, this is where it gets tricky quick. Now right there, that's how it's gonna say. You put the camera on here, you make a whole bunch of adjustments. Now you can put it between your legs and hold it and try to do that, which I found to be fairly difficult. Or it does have a tripod screw or mount here that you could, if you have, and I wouldn't recommend this with a cheap tripod. You need a sturdy tripod for this that could hold, I'd say with this in the camera, minimum 6 to 8 pounds. Make sure you know, if you're going to try this on a tripod, make sure you have a strong tripod. You can put that on there, and then it, you know, you can put the camera on that way. I found that to be the best way to do it, and even that took me a long time to get. Now the good news is, after the initial setup and the annoyance of trying to set that up the first time, it does get easier and easier and easier as you learn, just like anything else. So if you can make it through that initial frustration, you're doing good. You're halfway there. So now the initial setup, like I said, would be this angle here. The camera would go on here, which I'll show you here in a little bit. So the camera would go on here, and then so you have the option to hold it like so, and it would stabilize, or if you flip it around correctly like this, and if in the video I just released, I do show a lot of this. I hold it like this because I like to get down low and get, you know, different perspectives and stuff. And this just gives really smooth footage with those prime lenses, because those prime lenses, like I said, they're not stabilized. So any footage you get tends to be fairly shaky, which is a shame, because the prime lenses give you some of the best picture quality and video quality, in my opinion. Of course, if it's all shaky, it's not very good, is it? So now it does come with a charger, and you have these little mounts here that would actually mount the camera on here, like so. And then you have this here. So if you're watching and you're familiar, let's say with the 24mm, the Canon 24mm, the pancake lens, it's only about this wide, right? So if you put it on here, it's not a big deal. It's going to be relatively compact. But what if you go with, say, the Sigma 18 to 35, which is much longer, much heavier? It has this, a little piece comes with it, which is nice, that would mount on the front and actually hold the lens on in place and support the lens, which is a really nice feature. So you don't have to worry about that lens being so heavy and snapping at the connection spot there, the nozzle, whatever you want to call it, where the lens connects to the camera, if you were concerned about that. And then this other screw here would be what would connect that piece to that. And now it does. Okay, let me just set this down. Let's move some stuff around here, shall we? Okay, so we've got the basic unit here, as you can see. Okay, that's another thing. Try finding a way to lay this down. Okay, let's go like, there we go, perfect. It comes with a battery charger. The way you charge it is with your typical USB cable, and this is just a standard cable, the same thing you'd use to charge most Android phones. Just plugs in, plug that in, any of them will work. So that's nice that it comes with that. That's basically what it comes with, okay? And it comes with an instruction manual that is almost impossible to read and understand. So, and I'm not kidding, I think that's probably a large point of contention with a lot of people who buy this, is that the instruction manual is horrible. So it's basically figure it out on your own and good luck, which is good. It's okay, because it's not that difficult to figure out. As far as putting the camera on and balancing it and getting it together. Like I said, it's a little frustrating, but it gets easier with time, and it works excellently. Okay, that's one thing I want to say. All this here, I might be sounding a little negative here, but it does work excellently. I have video proof of that, and I'm going to be using this thing a ton. I love it. Love it. I don't know if I'd use it for a selfie stick. I'm sure you could, but for, you know, people say B-roll or something, it's gonna be great. It's gonna give much smoother footage. It's gonna look really nice. So once you get through all these little headaches of putting it together, it's worth it, is what I'm trying to say. Now, with that said, the controls on this are a bit frustrating. I've used it for probably a total of about 3 to 4 hours, and it's just, they get more frustrating the more I use it, because honestly I just wish it would be more simple. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Not more simple, just more explanatory, if that's even. Okay, let me explain why I get frustrated with the controls on here. The initial on button is this little camera. There's a little camera icon on here, and once you push it, when you push this little camera icon, you have to hold it down and it will turn on, and you hold it down to turn it off. However, I struggle with turning it off. You think it's off, I'll hold it down for a certain amount of time. I think it's off, I'll set it down, then this handle will just start spinning because it's trying to stabilize. So I didn't turn it off. So I've struggled turning it off a few times, which is ridiculous. It should just be on, off, that simple. And then there's a mode button here. And there's basically 3 modes to this. There's like a pan and follow. There's a manual everything. There's a little knob here that controls that. Once this starts, it will literally control every motion of it. So it's like a little joystick. It's awesome. That's a really neat little feature. There's that. And then the third one is some hybrid thingy or something. I don't know. I haven't even messed with it because I don't even know which mode I'm on, which is a big frustration of mine. When you initially turn it on, it's on, I believe it's called the pan and follow mode, which is, you know, basically you hold it and And as you slightly turn your wrist, the camera will kind of pan and it will kind of follow you around. So it basically works with you to track the shot. Fantastic, I love it. Then if you, let's say you go to use the joystick here, which your thumb would be on, to tilt the camera up or down, and you accidentally hit the mode button, then it throws you into another mode that is, I don't even know what it does. It's all of a sudden the camera shoots up or shoots down, and it's all out of whack. And I get very frustrated very quickly with it. And then I find myself, I just power it off and power it back on, because they say to get back to the previous mode, you tap the mode button twice. I've tried that and it doesn't always go back to where it was. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know which mode I'm in, and I get frustrated. I don't like that at all. I wish it just had some very basic thing showing me which mode it was in on here out of the 3 modes. So there's only 3. It shouldn't be that difficult, but trust me, the way that it's set up, I'm struggling with it quite a bit. And I have run the firmware update on it, and I thought maybe that would make it a little more, switch modes a little easier, but it didn't. So that's a bit of a problem for me. But other than that, I found it to work very smoothly. The actual functionality of it is excellent. Like I said, smooth videos. If you have, now with this, I'm using a Canon. I haven't downloaded their app, because apparently you can download the app and control it manually on using your cell phone. If you want to like mount it on a tripod and you can control it. From what I understand, that's not something I would use, so I'm not even going to mess with that at this point. If I ever find a need for it, I might do that, but that's, I'm more concerned about how smooth a video do I get with it versus the little gadgetry functions of it that I'm not sure I'm going to use. So I can tell you without a doubt, this has made my videos much smoother. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Check the link below if you want to check the price on this. And that's it. These things are pretty cool. I never thought I'd go this route, but I'm glad I did, because prime lenses give excellent video, and unfortunately the shake does ruin it quite a bit. So keep an eye out for one of these. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.